Act 2 Start of UA Chapter 15. Days later. 45 minutes before class. Kaido point of view. Stretching my arms behind me, as I arch my back, walking with Mom from the parking lot, releasing a grumpy yawn as I spoke exhausted, not yet properly awake, having took a nap the car ride here. Mom, did we really have to get here so early? Nodding, with sparkles around her face, far too bubbly, far too awake given just how early it was. Of course, the early bird gets the worm and all that. I've got to get started on presenting today's heroics lesson planning to Nizu, so that I can get our class dibs on Battlegrounds beta. With spiraling tired eyes, wobbly mouth and a comical sweat mark on the side of my face. I pout. Yeah, but did I seriously have to come with you for that? Couldn't I have just slept another 10 minutes and just took the train? Ruffling my hair as we stopped in front the teacher's office area where they present each other their lesson plans for the day. Of which are either accepted or denied by Nizu. You wish to become a hero, don't you? Well, the first thing to become a hero, is learning that you don't get the luxury to click snooze. Most crimes happen during the start of the morning. She's way too cheerful about this. I think it was better when Mom was all strict. I sigh deeply, slapping my face with my own hands twice in a casual manner. Waking myself up. Right, I guess that makes sense. I knew you'd see it my way. Get you some breakfast from the cafeteria and head to class. I'll catch up soon. She cheered, running off into the office. I sigh, rubbing my neck as I began walking down the halls. You're too much of a morning's person for me. I complain. Mom's always her happiest during the morning. I'm the opposite, I'm happiest near the end of the night. Adjusting my backpack straps, as I do a little subtle jump motion to adjust it easier. I hear my stomach grumble a little bit, and I express a sense of discomfort. Maybe I should listen and get breakfast. Guess I can drop off my backpack on my way. I mumble to myself in defeat. Reaching homeroom, I pull aside the door. Bourbon looks up from grabbing on Rumi, with a clear look of that compared to deer in headlights. Swiftly raising his hands in a pleadful tone. Wait, I can dash. An eruption of orange aura erupted in the form of smoke pouring out my arms and legs, as unexplainably, and I don't even notice it in the moment. Quirks that had long since been taken, return in my moment of unyielding rage. At 18 miles per hour, my leg shattered the floor beneath my best foot, smoke pillows out the cracks in the marble floor as I seemingly appear, hands around his throat. Slamming him back first into the concrete wall. Grabbing the arm that had been touching over her when I came in. My father's strength enhancer quirk, thought to be gone. Brought out of me in the moment of anger. Is it back? How? Too pissed to even think or notice. Snarling in hatred as I boom in his face, getting spit all over him as I shout. What the hell are you doing to her? The whole school could have heard me, I think. I wasn't doing anything. I dash, glancing away from him at Rumi, standing like a zombie, blank reflectionless eyes. And a mindless expression. Reacting to nothing around her. Standing surrounded by her own clothes littering the ground, fully stripped naked. This was his quirk at work. Returning my eyes onto him before he could finish speaking, punching him with a literal wind pressure wave escaping out his mouth with spit and puke following up his mouth when I did. The foundation of the building rumbled at the introduction of my punch. His eyes dilate and flicker lifeless in the moment. I step back letting him fall as he threw up all over the floor, falling atop his own puddle atop his knees and hands. After getting punched, Rumi came back to her senses. But I don't realize she's came back too. Stomping my foot atop his back, forcing him face and chest atop his own puddle of puke. If you ever lay another of your filthy fucking fingers on her again, I will personally rip your fucking dick off and feed it to you. Understand? At this time, Kigo and Oboro arrived, stopping in the door utterly in disbelief, both blushing hard. Rumi was fully naked in the center of the classroom. But they were more occupied staring at me and Bourbon. Kaido. What are you? What's going on? Stopping, speaking in a drowsy tone, now realizing that she was fully naked when she stepped towards me. Looking down and seeing herself fully undressed, she reached down, blushing hard, covering herself up. If she didn't understand what was happening, she definitely had a clue now. She then looked back in disbelief. Seeing the other two are looking at her now. With nose bleeds. With Father's strength enhancer, I moved with great speeds. Stop staring at her. I boom in furious nature. I wasn't happy in the slightest. They nervously averted their gaze. Startling Rumi by lifting her off the ground, holding her against me while I crouched down and snagged her shirt and panties off the floor. Kaido. What are you? She embarrassedly shouted in high-pitched tone. Sprinting out the room, and down the hallway through light student traffic. Thank God it was so early in the morning, or else these halls would be slammed packed. I dart down into the women's restroom, not 3 classrooms down from our own. Entering the stall on the very end, slamming the door closed and locked behind us, I laid her atop the seat, and turned my back to her, holding out her undershirt and panties. I don't speak at all. Utter silence. At least for now. Staring with a heavy blush, continuing to cover her bits by hand. She realizes over time I'm not trying to look at all. Hesitantly taking from my hand. Speaking with a wobbly, drowsy tone, asking me as she started pulling her arms through her shirt. Did you see anything? I answered bluntly, with a sense of flustered duty to be honest. And nothing below the waist. Letting out an oddly cute noise of fluster as she continued. Thank you. For what you did. She admits, before we go into a full 5-minute long bout of silence. Kaido. She murmured in a tone I couldn't read at all. Why yeah, I kept my eyes averted, internally I was spiraling. I've never gotten mad like that, quite like that before. Over anything. I was scared of myself for a moment. I thought I was gonna kill the guy. Can I ask you something? Still sounding pretty drowsy when she spoke, I sit my head forwards, resting my forehead against the stall door. I nod, but don't speak. Promise me, to be honest. I close my eyes, standing up straight. Nodding. Still not looking to her. Unsure if she was dressed or not. Kaido, look at me, she murmured in her drowsy voice. I gulp, before slowly turning around. She hadn't buttoned all her buttons, and her panties were still laying atop the top of the toilet crown. I did my best not to let my eyes drift from her face to cleavage or the promised land. But that was hard. Do you wanna start going out? My eyes snap large and animated heavily as I go into internal thought and a crisis begins inside of me. Oh no. She knows I'm flustered right now. And she's taking that opportunity to go on the attack. Bad rabbit. Bad rabbit. It's okay, Kaido. It's okay. Just play it cool, and deflect, act like you don't know what she's saying, and she'll back off. I don't know if I'm ready for this sort of thing yet, and I can't just turn her down either. It'll make it weird between us. Exiting my internal thoughts, I asked in a dorky tone of confusion. Huh? You mean go out the restroom? In her drowsy state, bold and fearless. Speaking, doubling down, instead of backing off. Blushing gently as she spoke without a hint of shame. Confidence had doubled since her first attempt a moment ago. She really threw every egg she had into the basket, huh? I'm asking you out, you dork. Do you want to become my boyfriend or not, doofus? I won't ask twice. I blush heavy, heavier than I ever had before. I look like a literal stoplight in the moment. Damn it, Rumi. Why'd you have to give me those eyes? You look so cute when you're tired. Damn. You're supposed to be a rabbit, Rumi. A prey animal. So why does it always feel like I'm the prey when you're around? Rabbits aren't supposed to be predators. I close my eyes, shut them tight. Inhaling and exhaling deeply. Patiently she is awaiting my answer. I try once again to avoid it. Deflect. I know. The moment I pick one, the other will demoralize, and it'll be awkward for them. I'm not dull. I can see it, Mom can too. You and Rumi. Me. I don't want to hurt one. By confessing to the other. But my heart is at an impasse. And I'm telling you I could go either direction, and I'd feel just as happy. Rumi. I've never been good at conveying these sort of emotions. I don't. No. I choke up halfway through my deflection. Then you don't have to speak. Standing up from the toilet seat. Pressing herself up against me, I blush heavily, as I step back, and press my back against the wall. I'm a few inches taller than her, so she looks up into my eyes. Those drowsy cute eyes staring back into mine. Wrapping her arms over my shoulders, interlocking her fingers behind my neck. Just show me. Bad rabbit. I think inside my head, my crisis has reached a head. She backed me into a corner. In the moment, too flustered and deep into it. To recognize or feel that pink smoke was starting to emit from my bicep and legs. I bring my arms, that I'd kept at my sides so tightly, hesitantly move from my sides to her waist, softly guiding her closer up against me. I seem to give up my fight. I've been caught. You win, Rumi. You win. I'm willing to admit when I've lost. I'm willing to admit when I'm cornered. I am the rabbit, and you are the cat. I guide my lips to her own, and we kiss like this for way longer than people standing in a bathroom stall are to. Kissing in a bathroom, I swear I thought I raised you to know how to romance a woman better than this, my mother's voice carries as she entered the bathroom, speaking in a defeated tone. We both light up like Christmas trees before breaking our kiss. "Oh Mom." I stutter in a voice equal to someone being caught robbing a bank. A hand reaches over the stall door, a skirt, overcoat, bra, shoes. All roomies from the classroom floor. The boys told me everything. So, I saw to it Bourbon was expelled. She added, not addressing us further about what it was we were doing. Well, she didn't immediately. Rumi embarrassedly took her clothes, speaking in an embarrassed voice, one you don't hear often with her. Thank you, Miss Tsutsumi. Am I in trouble? I asked. I did sorta. Hit the guy. Nope, your actions were viewed as justified, given the situation. End of that discussion, she answered, walking back out of the bathroom from the sound of it. I hope she was wearing something, given all the kissing I was hearing. I'm not sure that I'm prepared for a grand baby just yet. I blush hard, shouting back at her in fluster. While Rumi dressed in haste. MOM. End of chapter 15.